Knowledge seems to have, there are two journeys. There is the first journey of knowledge, which is the journey from data to information to interpretation or analysis. That's what they call knowledge. Knowledge is nothing but analysis of various sorts, reasoning, analysis, etc. So data, information, and what I call interpretation of that data. In this phase, primarily you see knowledge as residing outside. And you see yourself as separate from the knowledge. And you see yourself modeling or managing that knowledge and manipulating that knowledge. In that phase of a knowledge journey, you are fundamentally somebody who believes in the empiricist view of existence. First and foremost, you see knowledge as objective. You see that the collection of knowledge is empirical. By objective, I do not mean quantified. By objective, I mean it is outside. It is not within you, it is outside you. And it is not only outside you, you say that this is the source of that knowledge. It may be a culture, it may be a community, it may be an individual. It may be an object. It may be biology, it may be social sciences. But the whole idea knowledge is outside, I am taking it. And I see myself separate from that knowledge. My sense of reflexivity with respect to that knowledge, that means my recognition that my own perception transforms the world outside, is very dull and limited. I have a very low level of reflexivity in my engagement with knowledge. I believe that the knowledge and I are dual. It's a very dualistic state in knowledge. Then comes the next phase of knowledge, where you are actually getting into, you start recognizing that knowledge has an inner dimension. That means there is knowledge within me. And then you find that the knowledge takes on a completely different form. This is what they call in knowledge management a wisdom space. But if you unbundle that wisdom space, you find that wisdom space itself has three more steps, just like data, information and knowledge. And those three steps are what? First is engagement, that is being able to engage with knowledge in a new way. The act of engagement has now suddenly brought the subjective element into that knowledge. So the subject and the object start interacting. So suddenly there is a subject-object interaction. Something like the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, which says that the act of observation transforms the reality. And the reality and the data itself transform the observer, which Heisenberg doesn't say. He talks about one side, observer and reality. He says that the presence of the observer transforms reality. But the truth is that the reality itself transforms the observer. That is the second part of the Heisenberg equation, which he didn't talk about. So this observer and reality, and this is the reflexivity that suddenly starts getting created in knowledge. So then you find that when knowledge starts becoming reflexive, you are moving into a completely new orbit of who you are and what you mean by knowledge and how do you deal with knowledge. Then the methods of knowledge start undergoing a change. The tools undergo a change. The frameworks undergo a change. From here onward, you are becoming, in that sense, a true blue knowledge practitioner. Till you are in the interpretation stage, almost every person who works with information and data in the world is at one level of knowledge practice. But you are not a true blue knowledge practitioner yet. You are, if I may use the word, information practitioner. But once you get into engagement and after engagement, design. What is design? Design in knowledge means the ability to create fundamentally new structures or forms in knowledge, which actually organize the dimensions of knowledge in radically new ways. I am, in other words, able to construct new realities in the world of knowledge. I am able to say that maybe knowledge can take on this form. Maybe I can describe the knowledge in this world in this A form or B form or C form. When I am getting into that, I start seeing a completely new set of correlations between different dimensions of knowledge, and when I tie them together, completely new outcomes are born. And finally, you are talking about knowledge as stabilized practice or as realization, as we call it, but that is nothing but when you become knowledge, and that is the starting point of seeing the subject as equal to knowledge. So there is one world which is the object as knowledge, then subject object as knowledge, and then you have subject as knowledge. This knowledge you can call empirical knowledge. And what constitutes in that sense normal science? This is a new space which Illumin calls reflexive knowledge. In that sense, this has been the unique space of Illumin's work. Over the past decade, we have actually worked deeply on this space and actually worried about how to model it, map it, make sense out of it. In other words, we have mapped this terrain out. And there is something here which the scriptures and all these people call in that sense spiritual knowledge, which is not where we are. The world is here and entering here.